This is Lansdowne Road, the voice of the fans, and this is day 5 of our Advent calendar. Hope you enjoyed Budapest yesterday. It was good crack. And also our other days and some absolutely mind-blowing opinions on football here. But there you go, folks. That's what I'm up against every day. Today we're talking about our best centre-backs. 5 centre-backs. God knows, probably have Damien Duff in here somehow. Of course, if you want to support us, you can give us some money or a Roar Plus $4.99. Sorry, Martin, I have to say it. Martin doesn't like it when I beg you for money. Yes, I can see him off camera. He's like, I tell him and he ignores me. Yes, I do. $4.99 and is in the description below, or you can donate and give us money, I suppose, please, if you wouldn't mind. I jest, of course, your support is really welcome, actually, and very well appreciated. Oh, there goes my microphone. So anyway, lads, let's get into it. 5 best centre-backs. Who's going first? It's me, isn't it?
Connor. Oh, no, it's you.
No,
Not you.
last time.
It is me. I'm going to go with my namesake. Richard Dunn, number 5.
Oh, wow. Okay. I'm looking
This
forward
one
to
is quite packed, actually. This one,
yeah,
left back's a little bit. This is stacked. So I don't think there can be any. Well, actually, I was going to say there can't be any wrong answers. I have to hear what you two come out with, but anyway. Yes, Richard Dunn, of course, most famous for his performance in Moscow 2011. Superb that night. He burst onto the scene. I remember against the Dutch in Amsterdam in 2000. And unfortunately, by the end of that campaign, Martin, yes, you want to keep jangling your fucking bells over there. By the end of that campaign, it sort of unraveled for him a bit, didn't it, Richard Dunn? He didn't really play in the World Cup. He was shocking, I remember, against Portugal. But he did get himself back around. And by the time Mick had well and truly gone, he matured. And he became a real stalwart of the side.
Yeah.
No,
I agree with what you say. He's a little bit higher on my list, but mine number 5, Kevin Moran.
Okay.
Fantastic player over the years. Dual code, of course, famously won All Ireland with Dublin. Fantastic story as a player, of course, coming over to England, to Man United. Had a really fantastic career. The oldest player who played for Ireland at the World Cup. Well, went to the World Cup in '94, of course. Brilliant career. And the first player to ever be sent off in an FA Cup final, which he shouldn't have been, at Wembley. And so he's my number 5. Fantastic record with him and Mick as well.
Okay. Connor?
Funny enough, same Martin. I'm actually going for the same as Martin. Man United bias might help as well. 5th place was actually quite hard for me to pick because in my modern day, it's hard to get 5. You'd say top centre halves really achieved it. People can just wait. Kevin Moran obviously played for Man United. Obviously achieved what Martin said. Played 71 times for Ireland, so he can do it. He's on my list.
Yeah, fair. Moran's number 4 on my list. Superb. I mean, can't really add too much to what he played a pivotal role in the USA '94 campaign, the block in Seville against Spain when it was 0-0. Actually, the one we should have won, we were robbed, and Niall Quinn missed the sitter, but he pulled off the line clearance. But he did catch up. Unfortunately, the return game against Spain and Lansdowne Road, he was dreadful in that game. But he was 37 to 38 at the time, so it was done. But a brilliant player, a warrior. He put his head into things that people wouldn't put their feet into, and a gentleman. I never met him, but he seems like to be an absolute gentleman to boot. And he's held in high regard. He's a legend. He's an Ireland legend. He's a Man United legend. And absolute brilliant player. And number 4 on my list. Number 4, Connor?
It's Martin.
Oh, Martin, sorry.
Number 4 for me is Mick McCarthy. Leader legend. Fantastic. For a player which he is quite honest about his limitations, that he was just synonymous with what Jack wanted. Get rid of the ball, win everything. Him and Moran as a pairing were exceptional. The record shows that both of them, we didn't concede an awful lot with them on the pitch. Both incredibly hard. I mean, I think about the 1990 World Cup where Lineker scores after 6 minutes and Mick absolutely smashes him in the back of the net, just to show you, right, you did it once, but you won't be doing it again. Just absolute leader. Brilliant man. He's a lot of challenges as Ireland manager, as we well know, but fantastic. You can't fault him. And proper football man. But probably summed up for me the Jack Charlton era of just doing what Jack wanted and keeping it simple.
Okay, fair enough. Can't argue. Connor, number 4.
Shane Duffy. Probably one of Ireland's most underrated ever players, because when you think it now, because he's still playing.
Oh, this is serious. Okay, sorry.
Because people said if you went to recall him now, you'd probably think no, because even I would. But and then what we just say, a 6-7 year span, he was Ireland's best player, and he was our only goal threat. He was brilliant defensively. He was, what was it, the one year he scored our only goal against Bulgaria away under Kenny's, was it Kenny's first year? Yes, Duffy was exceptional for us. Had a long career in the Premier League with Brighton, done quite well. Obviously, the Celtic stint went against him, but then he went back to Brighton after that and done very well in the Premier League with them after that. So, as much as it might have gone badly in the last couple of years with Duffy, I won't forget what he done in that 6-7 year period where himself and Darren Randolph were our only 2 good players. So Shane Duffy's going to my top 5. Dave's forgetting what Duffy done.
Yeah,
Martin.
no, I'll come in there on Duffy because it's a strange one. I mean,
we'll be there. Okay, yeah, go on.
There'll be some people saying like, Kieran Clark should be called into this top 5, but no, Shane Duffy. Like when you look at that era, and he was the main man for us. Like you said, set piece, everything, scored some key important goals. But when someone else I'm going to mention, and I think you've already gone for Richard Dunn. But I think Duffy should have been better than Dunn, to be honest. Like he should have seen what Dunn did. I mean, Dunn kicked on his career, I think, a little bit
but
more than Duffy did at club.
But Duffy didn't. Duffy didn't have the benefit of playing in a good Ireland team. He probably played in one of the worst Ireland teams in the last 50 years. Like he couldn't do much with it. He was a centre half as well, and he was very good at Brighton. There was a stage he was excellent at Brighton.
I'll be honest with you. I think that's an outrageous shout. I think it's an outrageous shout. If you're basing your stuff, hold on. I'm gonna fucking blow that out of the water in a second, because you're basing this on Irish and club, and we're mixing it all together. Absolutely, there's no way he should be in anyone's top 5. No disrespect to Shane Duffy, he's 10 times the player I've ever been. He should be in no one's top 5, really. So sorry, Connor, because you always go in hard on me when I have something you don't like.
I've known that, like I can't compare. There's no one in my lifetime other than obviously Richard Dunn that I can even compare him to.
Okay,
I think he's been better than everyone else bar Richard Dunn.
I'm gonna who's number 3, isn't it?
You.
Is my number 3? Number 3, David O'Leary. I mean, what can you say about him? League winner. Played for Ireland for what? Played for Arsenal for 18 years. He is their record holder, appearance holder, still is. He only played 68 times for Ireland, but that's because he did fall out with Jack. 17 years for the boys in green, first play from 1976. He did have a fallout with him in 86 with Jack, and then he came in 2 years later, and he still answered the call when Ireland lost 2-0 to Seville. And it was a patched up Ireland squad. It was our first game, second game of the 2090. But no, world class player. This is where we're really getting into like world class ball playing centre half, and I mean, you don't play in a top club like Arsenal, and they were always competing for titles, that Arsenal team, and won a couple as well. They took a couple off that Liverpool team, and he was the mainstay there. So they were learning number 3 for me.
Okay,
Martin?
Richard Dunn for me, number 3.
Okay,
brilliant. Like Moscow, you never forget it. So, but I think we do look back at that a little bit rose tinted. That was fantastic. 2002 was just showing his immaturity. Basically, if he'd have knuckled down at club football, then it's well documented. I think he was a little bit led astray at times, not looking after himself the right way, not the most professional footballer out there. But when he did have to step up, I think then when it kind of clicked in his head, he was absolutely brilliant for us at the back, and fantastic player. And again, not in a great Ireland team, I would say as well. Not in a brilliant Ireland team. Obviously the Stan era and things like that. Because I do look back at that Stan team and think, God, Jesus, we really let ourselves down there. That was a wasted opportunity, of course, that qualification campaign. But I just think, absolutely brilliant player, and kind of copped himself on later on in his career.
Okay. Connor, number.
I have Richard Dunn
Number
as third as well. Yeah,
okay,
3. Yeah. So his thing is same as like and the thing is Martin. You said
not Richard
didn't
Chow or
kind of
something like
career.
that. No.
No, I have Nathan Collins number 1. No, but
Okay, you
Richard
two.
Dunn, yeah, I'm number 3. But in fairness, as you said, Martin, he didn't play great Ireland teams, but he actually played in, you'd say maybe multiple eras, like eras of Ireland teams. Like he played 2012, which was completely different teams, and when he like first came in, or even mid, there was a big turnover, wasn't there, with the 2012 team compared to before that. So, yeah, Richard Dunn, I think there's not much to say. Brilliant for Ireland, brilliant at club level as well, which has to be taken into account. If he was playing in the modern era, it'd be interesting to see how he would adapt to it, because obviously some of his biggest threats would have come back into style with the long throw-ins and his ability from set pieces. But yeah, I have him at number 3.
Okay. My number 2, Mark Lawrenson. I mean, what can you say about this boy? How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 league titles, FA Cup, 3 League Cups, won a European Cup 80. Should have won one in 85 as well, but won a European Cup in 84. Rolls Royce of a centre back. Him and Alan Hansen at Liverpool were absolutely outrageous together. Now, for Ireland, he played. You could have put him as best left back, right back. He used to play in the back 8. He could play in anywhere in midfield. Jack loved him for that. And of course, he scored he's got cult hero status because he scored a famous goal in Hampden Park against Scotland. But absolute Rolls Royce for a player. Fortunately, he had his career ended when he was 31 when he did his ACL. Was it, Martin?
Yeah, I think so. Was it or Achilles? I'm not sure.
Or it's Achilles. One of those.
Achilles. Achilles. I think. Yeah, Achilles. I think it is.
It's Achilles. 31 in 1987. That is a career ender, unfortunately. He did return for a bit. His last game was against Israel, actually, and beat him 5-0. But he wasn't able to go to Euro 88. And my God, when you actually think about the players who were missing at Euro 88, he was missing Beglin. It was up and coming, Liam Brady, outrageous talent, Mark Lawrenson. But he was the one. Jack loved him. He rated him as one of the best players. He was one of the best players in England. One of the best players in England at the time, Mark Lawrenson. And I know his book probably didn't endear him to Irish fans that he released in 1988, just before he retired. But yeah, for me, it's Mark Lawrenson all the time. Martin, you're number 2.
John O'Shea for me. I get what you're saying, Lawrence and stuff, but I probably didn't see enough of him. But John O'Shea, again, as we've spoken about on the last few days, where I think one of you picked him at right back, one of you picked him at left. I don't know what you were doing.
Wasn't me.
But anyway,
Wasn't me.
it was right back. You picked him, I think, Connor. No, John O'Shea for me, absolute legend. Fantastic coaching career as well to date. Got us to a World Cup playoff, hopefully. So, you've got to trust the process, trust him working with Heimer. Brilliant lad, respected by everybody. Over 100 caps for Ireland. Never let us down. Fantastic man of the match performances. And I would have John O'Shea as one of my all-time best Ireland centre backs.
Connor?
I have Darrow O'Shea. No, I have Mark Lawrence at number 2. I think he kind of picks himself. He's just one you hear of folklore. He'll be in the
redeemed yourself.
Forever. Yeah, so
You
Mark
redeemed
Lawrence
yourself, Connor.
You
are my son.
Seriously. You're just copying people. There's no point.
What do you mean I'm copying people? I'd Shane Duffy number 4 and you took a hissy fit to it. Mr. Chris Hewton.
Yeah.
Before we no. Okay. But before we go into number 1, right?
I think we all have the same one, lads.
Okay. Yeah. But hope we do, for God's sake. But isn't it mad that the position we know at the moment, when we talk about our team now, where we think, oh well, we've got options, none of them are in our top 5.
Well, they're all young players.
We're blessed. I know that, but the possibility isn't there for one of them to come through. I mean, Richard Dunn is probably and John O'Shea in the modernish era are the ones who have most recently got in there. Apart from that ridiculous shot for Duffy, but no, Duffy is obviously the best of that bunch. I was going to say bad bunch, but that'd be very unfair. But you think of like Richard Keogh, Kieran Clark. There's John Egan. Probably that. I know he's still in there now.
He done well, but them injuries kind of caught up to him, didn't they?
Yeah.
No, but there's a lot of lads there that are still so young. And the thing is, you can't the thing of a centre back. We have so many good players that you kind of automatically have to have qualified for a tournament or played a tournament to even come into consideration, especially with your lads' eras. I know of mine is kind of a bit bleak with players that if I just did players in my lifetime, it would be or even because my lifetime obviously still includes 2002 World Cup, but like I was born that year, so I don't remember it. So like in years I remember, it's not. It's so bleak that like all the players would have been very few would have been lads who went to a tournament, or you would have just picked like Sean St. Ledger to go at centre half, and like
Wow. I mean,
it
yeah.
would
Do
be
you think?
fine.
I mean, that 2012 team is damned by history, aren't they? Really?
Yeah.
Do you not? Would you agree with that, Dave?
Yeah,
It was so good to get there, and that was on
they
the
were
back of
excellent.
not being robbed of the World Cup, obviously 2010. But like the results then, obviously horrendous. But they're damned by history. I think no one really rates them massively highly, and yet we qualify for Euros.
They were excellent to get there, but yeah, I mean, but I think rightfully, they got battered for what happened. We had more memory, but anyway, we got to wrap this up. Who I take it number one is Paul McGrath.
Yeah. Ooh-ah.
Connor, why are you smiling? You didn't, did you?
Go on.
No, I've obviously put Paul McGrath number one.
Yeah, Paul McGrath. I mean,
Yeah.
what can you say about the guy? Yet again, Rolls Royce of a centre back. You think of what he could have achieved if he didn't have his issues. You think of what he achieved, what he could have achieved. Guy was in his late 30s, mid 30s, and he has Roberto Baggio, the best player in the world at the time, in his back pocket. In those conditions in New Jersey, and all of those knees like Weetabix, and he had one arm basically because he had an infection in the shoulder. Shouldn't he been playing? Like he was nowhere near 100%. And like he didn't have a great World Cup, but he had that moment in the World Cup, but the rest of the World Cup it wasn't great because he wasn't fit. But I am a centre back. I know he played midfield for Ireland in Euro '88 and I think the World Cup because he didn't want a ball playing centre back. But that's where he was at his best as a centre back. Just quickly there, lads. Rolls Royce player, wasn't he?
Yeah,
absolute
so
god.
many great memories.
Yeah,
no,
fantastic.
Fair enough. Right, that is day 5 of our Advent calendar. Tune in tomorrow. See what we got for day 6. Anyway, we're going to leave it there, guys. Thank you very much. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to the YouTube channel. I haven't said it on these videos. And also, Roar Plus, description below if you want to give us a little donation. Buy us a coffee, description below as well. Anyway, we're out here, guys. We'll see you on day 6. Merry Christmas.